Hello and welcome to Cadoink Studios. I am joined today with Boisterous and 30 frames per second. Very, very nice. Boisterous, would you like to introduce the players for the fourth game of this match in the STL Week 1?
I would love to introduce the players, Cadoink. Spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner and representing BskTeamB, we have Gabo as the red Protoss. And up here in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent from Team Opportunity, CLV Zandixes. Zandixes?
I have no idea.
I think it's Zandixes, but I'm pretty sure he does not understand that the plural of Zandix is Zandixi.
Dude, Boisterous, judging by what you told me, I think you think every plural is I.
Well, Cadoink, obviously, if you have a herd of horse, it's horse-eye. Everybody knows that.
And they are all indeed the same color. And I'm not ever going to explain that again on the internet. Just, Wikipedia will do a better job than me.
The thing is that you'll never have to explain it again on the internet because we have it recorded.
That's true. I think my dog is trying to tear through my door and eat me, but that's beside the point. So we do have
Is your dog Fluffy?
No, he's not. He's just a demon. He's actually a spawn of Satan. He is from hell itself. This is a...
I was referring to the three-headed dog from the first Harry Potter book.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
No, he's like if all three of those heads were in one, and they just hated everything.
So he's Fluffy minus the three heads.
No, he's Fluffy with the three heads just inside of one head.
I don't know how to explain that mathematically.
Well, you see, if you have n-1 number of heads, and
all the heads are the same color.
All the heads are the same color. All the heads are actually horses.
I think you mean horse-eye.
That's right, they are. We've come full circle.
We have come full circle. Okay, well, we have Zandixes going for a cybernetics core at the front, actually going for a wall, which is kind of interesting and something that I don't like in PvP, because it's fairly pointless. It doesn't really matter whether or not you have a wall, like, ever.
No, it doesn't matter. However, I can't understand it, because perhaps he just does it out of habit for all the other matchups, and so it just kind of comes out, because it's not like it's really going to hurt him that bad, so there's no reason not to do it.
I don't know, I think it actually kind of fucks with your concave, because if you go for a force field on that ramp, then you can't really hit units that you force fielded off the ramp because your buildings are there.
That's true. Yeah, I can see it harming you in that way.
Yeah. Moral of the story is I don't like it when you make your ramp, you know, like that. Just don't do it. Alright, kids?
I guess don't do it. Don't ever do it.
I can't wait until, like, the next level of, like, don't do drugs is going to be, like, don't build walls at your freaking ramp in PvP.
Yeah, they'll be teaching kids how not to play StarCraft. The Great or the Dare program will be like...
Dude, we should make, like, a 2012 video for that. So that in, like, 2050, when they're showing, like, all the kids, like, all the puberty videos and stuff, they can also just show them, like, the how not to fail at StarCraft video from, like, 40 years ago.
Yeah. They can all be very, very educated on the game. I'm hoping 40 years from now StarCraft is still mainstream, and we are still casting the game, as StarCraft is one of my favorite games of all time.
Of course. How could it not be one of your favorite games of all time?
I don't know. But we do have a 4-gate for Xandis, which is very cool, and his opponent is still stuck on 2 gateways. We'll see what he decides to do.
I like how you said stuck on 2 gateways. That's a great way to put it. He just doesn't have enough gateways. He cannot produce. And Zandixi is getting force fielded off the ramp because there's no buildings there. You see how his unit's getting hit? If there were buildings at the top of the ramp, that would be much harder for it to happen.
Yeah, and I am just now hitting 6 minutes. I think we are way off.
We are way off. Alright, tell me when you hit 623.
Okay, I will tell you when I hit 623. But he is forcing that force to move away. It seems like Gabo did a very good job at defending that. And now he's going to be attacking that pylon. And I just hit 623.
Alright, I think you can just say go.
Go. Alright.
It manages the same effect.
Yeah.
That Stalker does get slammed at the base of the ramp, and that force field is quite annoying.
Yeah, it is. It's going to effectively shut down this 4-gate. Gabo, well-experienced player, knows how to deal with the 4-gate and is able to do so with still just 2 gateways. Actually, a lot of sentries coming out for him.
Yeah, it's actually pretty. I don't know. I think 4-gates are always like put too far forward because if you have one sentry when you get hit with a 4-gate, you win the battle. There's
Right.
Can't lose that.
And it looks like Gabo is going to be going for that 3-gate Robo. That is probably one of my favorite Protoss builds, to be honest. I think it gives you a lot of flexibility, in my opinion.
You know what I actually like doing after I get 4-gated?
What?
I like going for Boisterous.
Really?
Yeah. Because if you get 4-gated, that means that your opponent isn't expanding, which means that he's not going to have the gas to really get a large stalker army. So as soon as you hold off that 4-gate, you just build a Nexus and then go for like 2 Stargate Void Rays. A, he's not going to see it coming because who goes for Void Rays in PvP?
Right.
And B, he's not going to have the stalker numbers. He's going to have a lot of zealots.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do when you get that many minerals. You just build a ton of zealots, and then you build sentries.
Well, that's very interesting. I'd like to see some games of that. You should send me some. I'll cast some of your games. Why not? We do have Gabo going for an expansion, and his opponent, Zandix, is going to be getting one as well. His will be out a little bit sooner, but his Robo will be much more delayed, as Gabo's first observer is almost out on the field. In fact, just now popping.
Indeed it is. And, yeah. I'm tired.
Me too, man. It's been a long week and then a long weekend, but I'm very excited to see these 2 players play, see these 2 teams play in week 1 of the STL.
Alright, I just slapped myself. I'm good to go.
You're good to go, man.
Good to go. I hope that came across well.
I could hear it.
Like the noise. Good.
I wonder if you actually did or if you just high-fived yourself.
No, I actually slapped myself.
Nice.
My face is stinging a little bit.
Good, man. I was going to mention the fact that you were eating pizza, and I once traded a slap to the face for 3 slices of pizza.
Who made that trade with you?
This kid in my hall, he came out with a box of like 2-day-old pizza, and I was really hungry, and I was like, dude, I want that pizza. And he was like, $2, and I was like, I'm not paying you money for 3-day-old pizza. And he was like, well, I'll slap you for it. And I was like, alright. And man, he laid it on me.
Dude, he should have just been like, I'll slap you for it, giving you the pizza, and then you would be like, where's the slap? And he's like, it's coming.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to let him do one of those. Oh!
You should have slap betted you.
I'm not going to slap bet him, man. I'm glad you watched that show that I can't remember because I'm so exhausted, but How I Met Your Mother.
How I Met Your Mother? Yeah. Yeah.
We do see that the observer got picked off. Zandix, his observer.
That guy's name is so hard to pronounce when you're tired.
Dude, it's hard to pronounce in general. I'm like...
Yeah, that's a good point. Cliffus Zandix. I don't even know what language that would be from. Like, I can't even crack one of those jokes that I usually do when you can't pronounce somebody's name.
And he is from Team Opportunity.
Opportunity,
I don't know how that...
even though it does say CLV.
Yeah.
Yeah. That never made sense to me either. Maybe he just, like, he used his one name change to get CLV, and then or maybe it stands for, like, Clarity, V, Zandix.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, I don't know why, but I think I just switched Opportunity to Observation in my head.
Did you?
Yeah. Alright, well, that doesn't make any sense to me anymore. So I'm gonna try to ignore it as best as I can.
So
he's CLV Zandix from Opportunity.
From Opportunity.
It appears that we are going to have Colossus Wars, which is, generic Protoss, 4-gate into Colossus Wars.
Yeah, and Zandix got revenge on his observer. He did manage to kill Gabos here at the 12-minute 45-second mark. And yeah, both players kind of macroing up, taking their expansion, saturating it up, and yeah, pretty usual things from both players.
Yeah, there's really nothing special going on yet. Zandix does still have a proxy pylon, which is really just telling him that Gabo hasn't gone for a third yet, which is kind of big. Zandix has dropped his own third. It's about a fourth of the way done, so that's going to be finished far before Gabo gets his up. Because he doesn't even look like he... Oh, no, never mind. He's expanding right now.
Is he now? Yeah, the probe is moving over. Yeah. I am at 13:30. Just make sure we're in sync.
Alright, we were not in sync.
We what?
We were not in
Oh,
sync.
dear.
God damn it, Blizzard.
1340.
Alright, yep, we're good.
But if we do look, the Colossi count is in Gabo's favor as he has 2, Zandix is 1.
Yep. I think Gabo has also been putting all of his Chrono Boost into those Colossi, which is really the right decision here. You need to get your Colossus numbers up as fast as possible.
Absolutely. And even though he's a little bit behind in economy, he will be able to get a really good engagement and then be ahead. And look at this. +1 is about to finish, and he is gearing up to move out, and his opponent doesn't have any upgrades. So he's just absolutely going to crush Zandix's force. But look at this. Some Zealots being warped into the third because of that pylon being there.
Oh, that is bothersome. Yeah. How did he not see that pylon?
I don't know. I think it might have just been out of vision.
Oh my god. He is in such a bad position right now. Oh, the Colossus. Oh, is he going to pull this off? I don't know.
Yeah, he's kind of backing up.
That was a really awful engagement angle.
And I am at 15 minutes exactly, just to make sure everything is A-okay. Looks like he's going to be able to pick this off, as the upgrades are helping him a lot. He will be forcing it back. The 2 Colossi. Ooh, but some good force fields by Zandix.
Yeah, Zandix is going to make it quite the clean escape there. The Colossus were not able to trample the force fields, so the Zealots could get their swipes in quite as fast.
But now Gabo's on the offensive, just moving across the gold mineral patch right now towards Zandix's base, also warping in some units at the pylon that was at the top left corner. In fact, some DTs.
Oh, they're DTs. Ooh, scary, scary DTs. And there is no detection.
Zandix does actually have an observer.
Alright, well, there's some mobile detection.
It's actually right inside of the army for Gabo, but it might be too late. He is kind of in the base doing quite a bit of damage, and he's even morphing some Archons.
This isn't looking good. Yeah, I think he noticed that the Observer was there, so he just morphed them into Archons, because honestly, DTs are kind of useless with Observers. They just get sliced to pieces.
And actually that Archon died super fast. There are a ton of Colossi out for Zandix. He is going to be able to hold this.
Yeah, 5 Colossi is the point where it just gets a bit ridiculous. Yeah, that was kind of a brutalization of Gabo's army. And Zandix has taken a nice lead.
Yeah, and he's even continuing to warp in units in Gabo's base. Gabo, for some reason, not destroying the proxy pylon. He really should have done that. However, he did not. Yeah, that was definitely a poor decision for Gabo. And I don't know if DTs are going to pull him out of this mess, Cadoink. In fact, the third is going to fall, looks like. We have another 5 DTs heading towards the main of Zandix, but again, they can only do so much damage, and they cannot confront an army. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Like, that's not possible. However, very interestingly, there's not an observer in Zandix's base. Well, I mean, I don't think it would really matter if there was an observer, because there would be no army. And it doesn't matter how much you can see a Dark Templar, you still need something to kill them. That's true. It would appear that Gabo was just going to sack his natural. He needed a... Actually, no, I guess it wouldn't really matter if he had a sentry there. Yeah, no. I don't know what's going to happen here. Yeah, this is really bizarre. This is kind of awkward. Wait, did the observer get sniped for Zandix? Oh my god, it did. He sniped the observer. Might be like a base trade scenario right now. No, it's not going to be a base trade. He sniped the observer. Oh! Well, just look at the Colossus die. I did not notice that. Yeah. Wow, his whole army is going to go down to these DTs. Very nice play by Gabo. Yeah. And in the main base, these DTs have already cleaned up the robotics facility. There is no way to get any sort of detection for Zandix. Have an observer. Yeah, he doesn't. Oh yeah, he does. Oh, never mind, Carp. Where is that observer though? To the third, just so that he can protect the third. However, he doesn't. I'm not even. He only has 3 sentries. And these. Wow, this is really weird. This is kind of boss. And there's a Zealot killing this assimilator in Gabo's base. I don't really know how to feel about this. Yeah, it would appear that Gabo's going to get fought off by some Stalkers, maybe, but not before doing an inordinate amount of damage with those sentries. That Zealot is literally a stone's throw away from 2 DTs. I know. And it looks like the 2 DTs did pick off the Stalkers. Now there's only 1 Stalker left, as well as a sentry and a Zealot.
You know, the sentry and the zealot won't really matter because they both need to be in close range in the zealot, and well, the sentry doesn't need to, but it does more damage. So, this is not looking good.
No, Xanax is actually in a very, very bad position, pulling off all his probes, but man, DT's killed probes like it's nobody's business, and there's a GG.
That game was insane.
Weird. That was like a really weird situation.
Yeah, that was a beautiful snipe on the observer. I'm not sure if you've ever encountered that, Cadoink, but it makes you want to cry. When your detection gets... I mean, I guess you're Terran, so you're kind of OP in that situation. However, like, I've had my observer sniped when literally the opponent had 1 DT.
Oh, that's awful.
It was like 1 DT versus 10 roaches, 4 zerglings, and an overseer.
Ugh.
And like he sniped my overseer with his last stalker shot before it died. And then the DT killed all my units and I lost the game.
That's awful. By the way, go to the Protoss, go to Zandex's base real quick. Do you see this gateway that's like nearly dead that has this like awesome blue flame coming up?
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
This is like the sweetest thing ever.
Oh my god, that is sick.
Dude, I think we may have just discovered something entirely new in StarCraft 2.
Can I take a screenshot of this?
I'm still frapsing, so this guy is gonna be up.
Oh yeah, that's good. I just frapsed it for like a second so I can get it. But that was... Yeah. That's pretty nice. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, Gabo's won 3 games in a row for
Indeed,
Team Berserker. So Berserker, all they have to do is win 1 more and they'll win the best of 7 for this week.
Indeed. I'm just staring at this gateway.
Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome.
I think we need to end this video before we like collapse into some sort of state where we just look at this gateway until your hard drive runs out of space.
We'll end it right now. Everyone, thanks for watching. Please comment below. Check out my channel. Check out Boisterous's channel. And we will have more videos up along the way.
And watch the video replies. Because this is just going to be a stream of 7 videos that you guys can all watch in a row.
It's going to be
awesome.
super sweet. So anyway, we will see you guys next time.